Let's talk about the worst field trip I ever had. It's a new semester, if you recall, and all the classes got shuffled around. So instead of Mario Machisimo teaching our conceptual process class, it's two women. Now this was hilarious to us, because he was so great, we assumed, that meant it took two regular teachers to fill his shoes. But actually, it was some fucked up scheduling thing where like everyone on staff has to teach 5.5 classes or something. It's weird, so some of them had to share. Now we have these two new teachers who hated me immensely. The first one we'll call Mary, and seemed to do the bulk of the teaching, and the other one we'll call Kathy, who would come and go with the frenzied mannerisms of a flash typhoon, earning her the nickname Hurricane Kathy, which if she's watching this and wasn't aware of the name, I hope she doesn't think was an insult. Now we didn't know these two teachers, and we're just like, hey, where's the regular guy? He's got a soothing voice and a fatherly demeanor. This is some bullshit. But we took to them eventually, even though, as I said, they didn't seem to like me at all. Every idea I had was rejected or graded poorly, and they didn't think I was nearly as funny as I clearly am. Plus, I have a very low tolerance for pretentious bullshit art, and I don't think that attitude did me any favors in their class. Now, who doesn't like a field trip, right? People love that shit. An excuse to get out of school, go new places. Artists especially, they get to whip out their sketchbooks in public and impress the normies. And they love it too. It's like when you see a bunch of wild animals in the backyard or something, like, oh wow, there they are. Honey, get the camera. Now, the first problem is that this was on a Saturday. Who does that? Second is that it was all outdoors. I remind you, this is January, and the nail in the coffin is that we were going to Niagara Falls. Jesus Christ, I hate Niagara Falls. What a tacky shithole of a town. If you somehow aren't familiar, allow me to summarize. You take a piss-poor, decrepit suburb, you put a toxic waste disaster on one end, crooked fucking casinos and overrated restaurants full of pathetic assholes ruining their lives on the other, line the rest of it with a bunch of tacky gift shops full of useless fucking knickknacks that go right in the trash a month after you're stupid enough to buy them, and then you stick the whole thing next to a big wet hole in the ground where people go to kill themselves. And it's got marine land. This is one of the few times where the Canadian version of something is bigger than the American version of it, but much like cancer, more isn't better. So we're on this bus to Misery, and I'm trying to not feel like total shit, because it was a week after I got broken up with. And when we get there, I think, okay, you know what, I'm single now. I gotta have fun, I gotta look cool and attractive, you know, for me, if no one else. So we all get up to shuffle off the bus, and Dave says something like, oh man, sitting in the back of the bus means you're always the last one to get off. And I turn around to him and I say, yeah, but the back of the bus is where all the cool kids sit. And I turn around to leave, forgetting I'm not a 4-foot-tall third grader, and smack my forehead right into the rooftop emergency exit. And I drop like a sack of bricks. How fucking cool is that? And I stand up and I see all these totally hot girls in my class who saw the whole fucking thing. And I'm like, oh yes, ladies, all this can be yours. So I get off the bus and immediately notice the major flaw in this trip. If you've ever been to a waterfall, you will notice that the air is filled with water vapor from the impact of the water going over the falls. How is that a problem? 'Cause it was fucking January! I'm in Niagara Falls, and everything in sight is bathed in a thick fog of ice crystals. I'm freezing my ass off, and I'm just thinking, can this day possibly get any shittier? So Mary and Kathy are like, okay, go to town, draw the sights, draw the people, record colors and smells and sound, take it all in, because we got a project centered around this place coming up. Don't go to the casinos. So we're in the casinos, obviously, enjoying a breakfast buffet. Just a small group of us, Dave, Cheesecake, who actually decided to show up for once, and a few others, and I'm just miserable. I don't like casinos, or gambling, or Niagara Falls, or drawing in public, or being cold, or being broken up with, for that matter, and I'm sure I was just lousy company the whole time. And as we were out wandering around that gaudy boil of a city, off in the distance I see Nola with a totally different group of people, and I feel kind of guilty that somehow me being here is preventing her from hanging out with some of these people, and then I just started to regret ever dating someone in class. I mean, I gotta see her every day now. Don't do that. That's my advice. Don't date someone in your fucking class. So we go about drawing Niagara Falls and really getting to know the place, which only made me hate it more. And finally, after what felt like a brief stint in a Russian gulag, we're allowed to get back on the bus. And I'm sitting there thinking, God, just fucking kill me now. And Nola's right behind me, and she pokes her head over the seat like, hey, did you find any cool shit? Oh, shit. Are we at the part where we pretend that we're friends? I wasn't ready for that. That snuck up on me, huh? But we both gave up on that charade pretty quickly, which appeared to be the theme of the day. So back at school, everyone decides to go to dinner or something to sort of talk about the wonderful day they had in Niagara Falls, but I leave to just go rebuild my psyche in private. What a great fucking day. And that was the worst field trip I ever had. And the aftermath, Kathy was like, okay, make 3 panels about Niagara Falls showing the past, present, and future. And I was like, all right, here's nature, that's the past, and then garbage, and then like actual literal garbage that I just taped to the paper because fuck that place. And she was like, yeah, no, F minus. And I was like, that's fair, okay, fuck it, whatever.